going to share with you how to get King Derrick, aka King David, to 5 stars. Max out the star level on this guy, 100% free to play, and he might actually be the very first hero you max out if you follow this very simple method. Now, I learned this from my alliance. Big shout out to the Smash Squad. There are tips and tricks and actually some secrets that aren't in the description, but are very important to know. And here's what you need to know. King Derrick is a hero that is available from a specific event, the Giant's Roar. Giant's Roar is only at the start of a new server, and to my knowledge, never comes back. So it is critical that you push to max him in this event. Now, if you watched my guide on the best pairings to use in combinations of heroes, we talked about how King David, or aka King Derrick, is one of the most important free-to-play pickups that you can go and make because he's pretty darn strong, and with a little bit of effort, you can go and max him out. This video is about that effort, but before I talk about that, the reason I keep saying King David, King Derrick is because he was originally King David, and then there were some folks that, I guess for whatever reason, complained. I don't have the backstory here about his history and the relevance of that, so to appease, they changed his name to King Derrick. Okay, whatever. We don't need to go into that, but I thought, like, if you read his history, it's King David, but whatever. Here we go. The way you get King Derrick is by battling tribes, opening up the boxes from those tribes to get these summon items, summoning a thing that you then rally, and from the rally report, you'll see you'll get his medals. So the way this works, as I mentioned, is pretty straightforward. First things first, you got to go battle some tribes. So you know how this works. You're going to search for whatever tribe you want to smash. We hit go, we send them out. Okay. Now, once you do get these items, and I'll show you a way to get a ton of these items really fast. You're going to be like, whoa, that's crazy. You'll see what I mean. We're going to spend a ton of stamina here. You can see from my mail, this is the item. Okay. So we claim this. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to open up the Giant's Treasure. There's a chance to get a summon item, open, and didn't get lucky. Is what it is. Most of the time, I don't get anything from one of those boxes. You're going to need to do a lot of battling. We'll talk about that in a minute. But in any given day, the event says, well, you can get 20 rewards from joining other people's rallies. That is true. You can get 20 from joining other people's rallies. In addition, if you run 10 rallies yourself, you can get some extra medals. That's once per event. This resets daily. And there's an advanced summon item. So if I go over here, you can see we have the black banner. Summoning this gives you something you can rally. It gives you 1 hero token if you beat it. This is a more rare summon. It gives you 2 hero tokens if you beat it. And those hero tokens, to my knowledge, don't actually count toward this limit of 10. Of 20. They don't count toward this limit of 20. So you can do 20 medals per day from the regular summons. You can also, I believe, do 10 medals per day from the more advanced summons. And anything you summon doesn't count toward this limit of 20 per day or 10 per day, which is really interesting as well. So I will prove this to you. I will get in trouble with my alliance for doing it because we have a rule that basically says if somebody's rallied one of these things and the rally's not full, you're not allowed to make another rally. And why would we say that? Because we want everybody to max this hero. He's a powerful building block. Everybody can get him for free. If everybody just runs their rallies, because like I said, I can run my rallies, and if I ran all of these today, I'd get all the medals for it, but everybody else is limited to the number of medals they can get per day. So we're trying to slow roll this over many days. And these items don't disappear at the end of the event timer. Oh, so that means slow rolling it like we're doing is kind of a big deal because then everybody can get their 20 per day for the Black Banner summons, their 10 per day maybe from the Giant Bronze Spear summons, and I will do one of those summons now to show you how this works. I hit summon, there it is. I hit rally attack, rally for 5 minutes. I'm going to send my best army, but it doesn't matter what I use, and I will let people know, sorry for the double summon, making a video, you know? So we go over here, sorry for the double summon, needed to summon for a video. Don't kick me, lol. Okay, great. So I told them, I know I'm breaking the rules. It's for the vid. GG. So I will show you when this rally completes that I'm going to get my 2 tokens. Even though I've been rallying these things and joining rallies all day, I am at my max number of medals here for this hero, technically, for the day. But anytime I summon it and I rally it, I'm going to get those tokens no matter what. So with all of that said, there's more to this. A trick. First of all, you should be hoarding up your stamina until the last day of this event. Why should you do that? Well, 2 reasons. First of all, your server will probably be like my server, I assume. They could change this. But the Mightiest Governor event aligned with the last day of Giant's Roar. This is significant because, as I mentioned, battling tribes is how you get the things you need to open up and maybe get the summons. Okay? This first day of Mightiest Governor is battling tribes. So what am I going to do today? I'm going to battle a bunch of tribes. Now you may be wondering, okay, Chisgule, that's going to take a long time, isn't it? Because here's what I was told. I haven't investigated this specifically. I guess I could test it. But what I was told is that if you go and battle a tribe, like let's say I go and I search for a level 14 pikeman, all right? And I go hit attack. If I send multiple armies, I'm told that I only get one of the little boxes that's the event reward, no matter how many armies I send. Well, that's awkward because you want to maximize the number of boxes that you get. So if that is true, and I could just go test it, but I'm just going to take people's word for it here. I should, for the sake of the video, just go test it. But if that's true, first of all, you wouldn't want to hit one of these if somebody else is hitting them. So like Caiaphas just hit that thing. 2 people hitting it, I think, is not ideal. Even if it's 2 other people, I'm not entirely sure. But the way you would set this up is I'm going to go, I'll do swordsman here, and I'm going to do auto field battle. All right. Now, when I do auto field battle, I set a couple things, but basically my army is going to go out over and over and over again. The number of times is going to depend on the amount of stamina I have. That army is actually on expedition. So let me pick something different here. Okay, from here I hit auto field battle. And now you can see, here it is, the number of attack attempts, the amount of stamina it's going to use. So there's a couple things you need to know about auto battling. I'll make a separate video about this. But one of those things is how many troops can be in your army for the army to still send. In other words, if all your troops start to go to the hospital, should the army still send if you only have, 1% of your troops remaining? I mean, I think I picked if this army bar, which, you can see over here, if this army bar is 27% full, you can still send it anyways. That's what that means. The hospital capacity is how full can your hospital be, and you still send your army out. And I don't want to multi-select. I'm just going to hit auto battle. So now that army is going over and over again. And I can also send another auto field battler. So I was doing this with 4 armies at a time earlier today, but I'm going to go back over here. We're going to hit search. I'm going to search for archers, auto field battle. Doesn't really matter which of these I pick because I'm overpowering for all of them. And it's going to do 14 attack attempts. All right. So I'll pick this cavalry march to do it with. GG. Right. So now we're really cooking. Right. So I could do this with 4 armies. Technically, you do it with 5 armies at a time if I really wanted to. And it's going to go battle these things over and over and over. And I'm going to accumulate the stuff. And the game's not going to open up more stamina potions for me. So the goal is to have 4 armies. For me, it was 4 armies doing this at a time, and then just to pop stamina potions as you go, right? So as your stamina drains, which it will, you just refill it, and then you keep auto battling. Technically, you can fill your stamina beyond the amount that you have here, and you could set a higher auto battle number for the number of times you want your troops to auto battle. That number, I think, can be as high as 30, but I don't know. Technically, if you exceed the amount of stamina you have at cap, you're not generating stamina anymore. So like in a perfectly optimized world, you stay below cap while you're doing this little event here, okay? So those guys are running around, getting me value. My rally just concluded, so I can go into this battle log, and the barbaric giant, I got my 2 tokens. as I said, if I'm the one running the rally, I will always get my medals, but it's important to not be selfish about it, which is what I just did, and run these rallies when nobody's joining them, because like everybody needs the medals. Spread out your rallies that you're running over the course of like many days and help people out. And like you'll get there eventually, they'll get there eventually. But once this event is gone, it's my understanding that it, at least in the the regional launch servers, it never came back. So accumulate these items, and the reason in part, again, that we're doing this on the last day is not only to align with Mightiest Governor, but if you didn't know, if you look at your report here, and I go to military, you can see that I'm gaining experience on each of these heroes, okay? So that's pretty important. By the way, you can get talents that increase your experience gain. That is almost certainly worth doing. It is probably a big mistake that I haven't done that on these heroes. And the reason I say that is that it's very cheap to retalent your hero. So it's almost worth like retalenting your heroes. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, it was Diao Chan. That's why I was confused. It wasn't Cleo, it was Diao Chan. GG. Here it is. 5% extra experience when attacking tribes in the world. Okay, and that is interesting because it gave the experience to all the heroes. So I sort of feel like I probably ought to be using heroes that can have that talent. And I probably even like ought to respec into that talent, use it, okay? Because my goal on this last day of this event is to spend quite literally all of my stamina and get all of these summon items. And it might be overkill if my whole alliance is also doing this event and getting the summon items. But my philosophy on this one is I want to make sure as many people as possible can max this hero. And I want to make sure I can max the hero. So the best way to go about doing that is to get a bunch of these things. So I basically have been buying bundles, accumulating stamina, not spending the potions. And now that we're on this last day, I'm going to spend all the potions I have, drain down my stamina, get a bunch of experience. And yeah, that's the game plan. It's actually kind of funny. Like, it's not much experience, but if I'm going to spend all these tokens, like, I should retalent Leonidas. I should probably, let's see here, if I'm using Richard, like, yep, retalent Richard, right? Because to change this, 50 Empire coins, that's like next to nothing. The cost of experience tomes is certainly higher than that, right? Let's go see what I can pay for experience tomes real quick. If we go to the VIP shop, we go to the VIP store, oh, I don't know. It's 15 tomes for 50,000 experience. I feel like it probably pays for itself. Like if I had started the game and gone for the experience, which I wish I had now, and then retalent them later, I certainly would have got more experience. So I'm thinking probably that's the play. But that kind of covers all the things I wanted to talk about in this video, okay? So in summary, you can get 20 medals per day from joining other people's rallies, 10 medals per day for the advanced summons, even though that number's not shown. The items last beyond the duration of the event, to summon, to then rally to get the King, Derrick medals. So the key is to get as many tribes destroyed as you can before the King Derrick event ends, so that even after the event ends, you can continue to do these rallies, get lots of rewards, and go in and max your King Derrick, all right? And if you're wondering, well, what lineup is King Derrick good in? I have great news for you. I got a card in the end screen. It'll be right over here in just a second that tells you all about what I think the best new player lineups are. And yes, knowing these lineups is a big advantage because some are way more powerful than others. So use these lineups. Watch the video. You can see exactly how I'd recommend King Derrick, who, by the way, good with archers and good with swordsmen. GG. Good to have him in your roster maxed out.